Hello students, we are studying this chapter water, a precious resource, and in the last class we have studied about forms of water and water cycle. Now in this class we are going to study about uses of water, in which we are going to study about how water is used in agriculture, field, domestic and in the industrial way. So let's begin this session. So coming to uses of water. So the uses of water can be broadly divided into agricultural, domestic and industrial use. The major portion of water in India is used in agriculture, as India is mainly an agricultural country. Yes, India is agro-based country. The main occupation of Indian people, mostly nearly 60% of the Indian people, depends on agriculture for their living and uses nearly 90% of all water for irrigation purpose. Irrigation systems are necessary because the monsoons are unpredictable and reasons where cultivations completely depends on the rain. Lack of rain result in reduced yields or even total crop failure. Means India, where the 60% of the people depend upon the agriculture and they use 90% of water for irrigation purpose. Why they depend upon these water for irrigation? Because monsoons are unpredictable. In the reason why these monsoons are unpredictable, it is because due to global warming or the climatic change which is occurring in our environment, due to that monsoons are unpredictable and they cannot rely over the monsoon. So they depend upon irrigation facilities, they depend upon the water which is available in the river, lakes and the canals for the irrigation purpose. And in reasons where if the monsoon is unpredictable, so that's why where the cultivation completely depends upon rain, lack of rain result in reduced yields or even the total crop failure. Okay, and if rain will not occur properly, then what will happen? It reduces their yields or even does a crop failure. Okay, so that's why they totally depend upon the water for irrigation process. Nearly 90% of uses water for irrigation purpose. Okay, now coming to the next thing, that is domestic. So water required for household use is called domestic water. One question arises, what is domestic water? So domestic water means water used for household use. The water required for household use is called domestic water. The water which we are using in our house as a drinking water, as for doing different activities like preparing food, bathing, washing clothes and dishes and even the watering plants. This all come in the domestic activities, and this, let us see how this water used as domestic purposes about that. So we generally get water in our homes in one of the following two ways. So water we get at our home, we get it by the two processes. Either it is delivered by the municipal water distribution system or we extract it from an underground source through a motor driven tube well. So we get water by the following two ways. Either it is transported by delivered by the municipal water distribution system, or we extract from an underground source by the help of motor or motor driven tube well. So in cities, municipal water treatment plants supply homes with treated water that matches drinking water standards, while in rural areas, however, over 80% of domestic water comes from the underground source. One thing is there, in the urban areas, the underground water level is very low. That's why here mainly the people depend upon the water supply by the municipal corporation or municipal water treatment plants. And while in rural areas water level is good, they get the water by the help of hand pump only. So in rural areas or wells also, so 80% of domestic water comes from where? Underground sources. So this municipal water treatment plant supply homes with treated water that matches a drinking water standard. Means they purify the water by the different processes, and that makes it suitable for the drinking purpose. Let us see how they do this process, how they purify the water. So this is about the water distribution and water treatment in a city, how it occurs. So as you can see here, this water or raw water is taken from lake or river, whatever available in that city, it is taken from there. And this by the help of pump. By the help of pump, that lake or river water is taken from there and it is transferred into the chemical treatment plant. In this chemical treatment plant, it goes from different processes. Let us study about that. So in this chemical treatment plant, first of all, the water comes in this tank, and in this tank, that is to sanitary sewer system, that in this tank, water is accumulated, and you have studied about one separation technique that is called sedimentation. In that sedimentation process, what we have studied? We have studied that heavier impurities get settled in the base of the container. Same concept applies here. This raw water contains different impurities which is heavier in nature. So when it just transported into the tank, that heavier impurities settle down at the base of this tank. And this impurity is known as what? Sludge. That is the heavier impurities, and that is known as sludge. It is accumulated at the base of this tank. And it is further, the water collected over this sludge is passed through the another segment of different layers, that is made of different layers, coal, sand and gravel. This water is passed through the different layers, and when this water passed through the different layers, then the minute impurities or the lighter impurities get stuck over these different layers, between these different layers, get stuck to that different layers, while only that water falls to the tube. As you can see, falls into this tube. So the lighter impurities stuck in these different layers, and the water falls through these tubes and accumulated into the clear wells, as you can see here. So one question you can arise here: what happened to this sludge? This sludge is taken over from here. Okay. After that, when this water is passed through this layer, then this sludge is taken from this tank. And when this water is just transported into these layers, so the minute particles stuck into these layers and water then passed through this tube and accumulated into the clear wells. Now the heavier impurities and the minute impurities get away from the water and just get filtered from the water. Now coming to the microorganism, then what happened to the microorganism? How we can just kill that microorganism? That's why disinfection with chlorine and ammonia does in this clear well. Means ammonia and chlorine is added to the clear well, and due to that ammonia and chlorine, this microorganism get destroyed, and it kills the microorganism present in the water. Okay, and now this water is fit for drinking because all the impurities are clear, like microorganism, heavier impurities, even the lighter impurities, all impurities are clear in this process here. Now this water, with the help of pump, it is transported to the storage tank. I think you have seen this storage tank in your locality. So in this storage tank, this pump, by the help of pump, this water is stored into the storage tank. And from this storage tank, different houses are connected with the storage tank by the help of pipes, and water is transported to this different area or locality. This is how this water distribution and water treatment system in a city works. So the first of all thing is, this water is taken, that means raw water is taken from the lake or river, whatever available in the city, and with the help of what? Pump, and it is further transported into the chemical treatment plant, where the first of all the water is accumulated in a tank, where the heavier impurities is settled down at the base of the container by the sedimentation process, and the water available or collected over the sediments, or you can say that sludge, that is supernatant, is transferred into the different layers, that is coal, sand and gravel pass through the different layers. In these different layers, the minute particles or minute impurities get stuck into these layers, and water just pass through these layers and just come out into these pipeline, and this pipe, from this pipe, water accumulated over the clear wells. So from these two processes, the fine impurities and the heavier impurities, both are just purified from the water, while this water is collected into this tank, where ammonia and chlorine is added to kill what? Microorganism. Now this water is fit for drinking. So by the help of pump, this water is transferred to the storage tank, and from this storage tank, this water is supplied to different houses. This is how the water distribution and water treatment water system in a city works. Now coming to the other use, that is about the industrial use. So industry depends on water at all level of production. Means in each level of production, water is required by the industry. So how it is used? It is used as raw material, a solvent, a coolant, a transport agent, and for generating electricity. So it is used as what? As a raw material also, a solvent also, coolant also, transport agent, and for generating electricity. But due to rapid industrial development, the demand for water in this area has increased in the past several years. So due to industrialization, there is rapid development in industry occurs, and the demand for water is also increases. So the demand for water in this area has increased in the past several years. So today we have studied about uses of water, in which we have studied about 3 uses, that is industrial uses, agricultural uses, and domestic uses. In domestic uses we have studied about water distribution and water treatment water system in a water treatment system in a city. This thing we have studied. So this is question which is based on what we have studied today. Go through these questions and solve it. Thank you.